Proceeding to our next agenda, we will have an exciting sharing session with the best practitioners regarding food security.
In this upcoming sharing session, we'll be joined by Mr. Gingin Ginanjar from DKPP Bandung and Mr. Insinyur Ahyani from Sekda Solo. Proceeding with that, we have an international guest speaker from South Korea, the Director of Food Policy Division from Seoul Metropolitan Government, Mrs. Jong Jin-suk.
Last but not least, from Malaysia, we have the representative of Seberang Perai City Council, Madam Nurhayati Binti Sulaiman as the Director of Community Services Department, and Mr. Chu Eng Seng as the Assistant Veterinary Officer of Community Services Department.
Please join us in welcoming our moderator for the next session, Her Excellencies Ms.
Prameswari Omegawati.
Selamat siang Bapak Ibu semua. Good afternoon ladies and gentlemen. I am Prameswari, the moderator for today's session. I am very pleased to be here and welcome all of you to this session. This session is part of a training on food policy jointly organized by the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact and IURC for cities in Asia Pacific. Following the 6 categories of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, today we will go in depth on the 4th category, food production, with the specific focus on urban farming. The previous webinars were just online, but today, at this conference, we have the opportunity to continue the training in person. In this session, we will present how work on urban agriculture, urban farming, and food production can stimulate food system transformation by protecting biodiversity and creating future work. Today, we will hear the best practice on food production from Bandung, Surakarta, Seberang Perai, Seoul, and Milan. So allow me to give brief introduction to our great speakers. So, first of all, let me introduce Andrea Magarini, the Director of Food Policy and Agriculture of the City of Milan. Mr. Margarini facilitates the engagement of municipal agencies, philanthropic foundations, universities, social actors, and private sector for the implementations of action on food waste reduction, short food chains, and child food habits. I invite Mr. Magarini to come to the stage. Now allow me to welcome the second speaker, Mrs. Jong Jin-suk. Mrs. Jong Jin-suk is the Director of Food Policy Division from Seoul Metropolitan Government. Her current position encompasses many responsibilities, including planning projects and policies for building a sustainable food system. She will join through Zoom. And the third speaker, I welcome Mr. Gingin Ginanjar. Mr. Gingin Ginanjar is the head of Department of Food Security and Agriculture in the Bandung City. The Department of Food Security and Agriculture of Bandung City is responsible to formulate and implement the policy in the sector of food and agriculture. Mr. Gingin, please join us to the stage. Thank you. The next speaker is Mr. Ahyani, who will join through Zoom meeting. Mr. Ahyani is the Regional Secretary of Surakarta. He was the head of Surakarta City Regional Development Planning Agency, head of the Surakarta City Regional Research and Development Planning Agency, and acting head of the Department of Housing, Settlement, and Land Areas. Last but not least, our fifth speaker, Mr. Chu Angseng, Assistant Veterinary Officer of Community Services Department, Seberang Perai City Council. Seberang Perai City Council is engaged actively in material recycling, composting, upcycle, urban farming, and reducing marine plastic pollution. His main achievement is establishment of 5 recycling centers and community farming per annum. I invite Mr. Seng to come to the stage. Before the presentation begins, let me inform how the presentation will be going on. Each speaker will be invited to deliver the presentation in 10 minutes, and after that there will be a discussion session for 15 minutes. So, first of all, let me invite Mr. Andrea Magarini to come to this podium, or maybe you can deliver in your show. Oh, sure. To give your presentation. So the stage is yours.
Thank you indeed for inviting me. Terima kasih to all of you. And it's a very pleasure be here, and the energy of this space is very perceived in all of our heart. So, as mentioned, this session is also part of a series of training online that we deliver together between the Milan Food Policy Pact with the IURC program. If you can put my slide on the screen. Okay, thank you. And within this training is also recorded and present and connected online. There are some of our cities that before of this webinar, training in person will be part of webinars, and there are some Vietnamese cities connecting like Da Nang, Trang To, Tam Hy, Bien Hoa, and the University of Ho Chi Minh, as well the Association of Cities of Vietnam. So maybe Vietnam can be the next countries that will joining the Milan Food Policy Pact with different cities. So, okay. In this training, all the time you can see the different categories of the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact, and we start in April by doing together this journey, and in each training we try also to present some European cases together with the colleagues of the Asia-Pacific cities. So each time, as you can see in this map, we engage different cities, and in the previous webinar, the city of Seoul, of Daegu, of Sydney, of Bandung were present to present their practices. And today we have all of these amazing audience in person, finally. Again, here the cities that are represented here. What is the topic of this training, of these webinars, and today in person? We try to share more in depth one specific categories of our Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. As you know, we have 37 recommended action clusterized in 6 categories. Today we go in depth on food production. Also, together with all of these categories and recommended actions, we have a set of indicators that are a powerful tool for cities to define and to monitor, to assess their impact in their cities and in their communities. This framework, this monitoring framework, was delivered a few years ago together with the FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, and with RUAF Foundation, a very committed foundation, very expert in urban agriculture, already mentioned by the friend of Ricolto. Are 44 indicators. So now I want to show a little bit in depth these 2 clusters of recommended action and as well indicators for food production. So we start with the recommended action. So there are 7 recommended actions fully dedicated to urban agriculture. Is also a way in which with this training we try to share the different way in which each city, each mayor, each director, each city officer can choose 1, 2, or plus than 2 of these recommended action to implement in concrete our Milan Urban Food Policy Pact. So these are the 7 recommended actions on food production. So promote and strengthening urban and peri-urban production, seek coherence between cities and rural production. There are some times in which cities are not concerning urban production as part of their driver to transform their cities. We are in Bandung. Mr. Pak Gingin is on the stage, and he is the perfect linking on this specific action. We would also do an incredible work when I think that he will present. The third action is apply ecosystem guidelines to urban planning and management. So when we are in the phase of update our urban planning tools, our urbanism planning, it's a good moment also to include urban agriculture priorities, urban agriculture action, urban agriculture projects in our urban planning activities. And this recommended action push these activities. Fourth, protect and secure access to land, because having access to land for urban gardening, for urban agriculture, peri-urban agriculture is the good way. If our municipality, if our city have the ownership of some land, we need to open this infrastructure, these surfaces, to projects of young generation that want to start their process of urban production. So they can grow their impact, they can grow their income, and they can have access to land. Fifth, provide services to local production through technical assistance, through training on urban production. Sixth, support short food chains in by procurement, for instance, in school canteens procurement or something else in urban markets. And finally, improve waste and water management and reuse in the field of circular economy. Our waste treatment, if can be applied with good technology, can become a place in which we generate composting for urban agriculture. So we are closing the loop, not having waste, but try to re-exploiting them in urban agriculture. Connected to these 6 categories, there are a set of indicators that I mentioned was delivered with the FAO and with the Milan Pact, and it is here. With this indicator, you can, and we have also guidelines to implement this in the training, also the people connected online can download it. We have a specific guidance per each of these indicators. Try to have to assess your impact. Few words about Milan, very few, and then I come back to our amazing moderator. Milan is a city, but also a big agricultural surface. As the Vice Mayor of Milan mentioned in the welcoming remarks, she mentioned that it's very closer to his competencies. We have a lot of agriculture in nearby Milan. Here some pics about the rice production of Milan, the crops production of Milan, the grain production of Milan, as well some abbey, because our agriculture coming from our traditions. So our monks, our abbey were a system in which our farmers growing fast. Nowadays we have more than 33,000 of hectares in the peri-urban surfaces of Milan, that is managed by an agricultural park. The majority are production of corn and rice, and in the map you can see the blue surfaces are all rice production. We secure work for more than 1,400 of farmers that are managing this agricultural surface, and also we organize governance activities by clusterizing these farmers in 5 different agricultural districts. With all of these agricultural districts, we have a specific relation, a special relation between the municipality and all of them. With them, we define a plan of promoting agriculture, securing 82 million euros to invest directly in our agricultural services, on which the half already was spent and allocated. And also we define action planning and specific activities that we want to go together between the municipalities, our offices, our food policy department, and different farmers and agricultural districts. Few words, final words about future challenges that we want to reintroduce and strengthening in Milan. First is reintroduction traditional production. We have this system that in Italian is named Marcita, and is a way in which we manage the production of very efficient crop production, also exploiting water in a very sophisticated way in which the water can enter in the field, take one trip and then again be saved and take another trip, and in this way there are again water on the soil, and this allows also to pass the different seasons. Second, introducing carbon farming. We haven't in Milan until now. We are working with one of our farmers to introduce this system in which in the period where there aren't production, we cultivate additional production not for human consumption but to regenerate the soil. And so in this way we are able to have more quality. In the pics you can see the quality of our soil managing with precision farming, and so by introducing this technology we are able also to fix the different issues that we have in a specific proportion. Finally, working on water scarcity and promoting agri-energy on the rooftop of our farmers. We are also working to connect short supply chains by analyzing all the different fluxes. In the map you can see in the metropolitan area of Milan where are, in the lower part, are the different production cultivated area of fruit, vegetable and rice, and on the top the consumption of our cities, of our public procurement system. So by organizing this mix between rural area and urban area, we are going together to transform our food system, to transform our agricultural system, and to work together with all of our stakeholders. Thank you so much, and up to you.
Thank you, Mr. Andrea, for your great presentation. Now, allow me to welcome the second speaker, Mrs. Jong Jin-suk, who will join us through Zoom meeting. Mrs. Jong Jin-suk will be connected from Seoul, South Korea.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jung Jin-soo, director of the.
Hello, Mrs. Jung.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, we can hear you very clear.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jung Jin-soo, director of the Food Policy Department of the Seoul City government. Today, I will introduce the Seoul Food Plan. The Seoul City government is committed to serving various food issues. Therefore, we established a 5-year food policy plan in 2021, and the plan is in action to serve a wide range of food-related issues in each phase. Our citizens have the right to enjoy healthy and safe food. The 5-year food policy plan was made after going through over 259 sections of discussion with food experts and public officials. The core 6 values of the food policy plan are healthy, health, food security, co-prosperity, community, ecology, and happiness. The policy plan is expanding to cover more areas. Now, I'd like to introduce major projects of the 5-year plan. First is making a healthy and safe food environment for citizens health. The Seoul City government provides the customized nutrition management service to pregnant women, young children, and the elderly to address health inequality. We are also conducting various educational programs suited for each life cycle. The program is customized for young children and adults to help them practice healthy eating at the table. The second point is food security. The Seoul City government visits children from vulnerable households and elderly with limited mobility to provide meal boxes. The meal boxes contain various food items, ideal for different ages. Under the food policy, Seoul has expanded the vision of free organic school meals to all students. We are also providing food vouchers to low-income families and pregnant women so that they can purchase eco-friendly food items. The third point is prosperity and community. We believe that a sustainable future can be achieved when people from urban and rural areas can live in harmony by securing safe food supply channels from the rural areas. We are providing eco-friendly food items for meals provided at the child care and daycare facility for the elderly. The next point, number 4, is ecology. I'd like to explain about environment-friendly food consumption. Our world uses too much plastic. Seoul is leading its efforts in reducing plastic use by encouraging shop owners to use less packaging. We also have resumed a project encouraging cafes to use reusable cups and rent them to their customers. Another effort in ecology is our commitment to a planetary diet. By promoting a planetary health diet, we will empower Seoul citizens to take care of their health and the planet. As part of the effort, Seoul encourages citizens to eat more fruits and vegetables and less animal-based protein. The Seoul City government, we continued our endeavor to make a sustainable food city. To continually upgrade our policy plan, we are conducting assessment based on statistics and scientific performance analysis every year. We reflect on the results of our discussion for next year's policy to introduce more effective projects. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mrs. Jong Jin-suk, for your remarkable presentation to share us here about the achievement of the Seoul city government to achieve sustainable food city. But unfortunately, Mr. Jong cannot join us until the discussion session due to another meeting. Now, allow me to welcome the third speaker, Mr. Gin Ginanjar, to come to the podium. Please give applause to Mr. Gin Ginanjar.
Yeah, thank you. This is time for me to present about Buruansai. Almost all day we talk a lot about how build food security and policy and so on. But now how it all happened in the real world. Okay, thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang, Sampurasun. Yang terhormat Pak Wali Kota Tarakan, alhamdulillah masih hadir, Bapak Ibu semua. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I open mas. The Asia Africa Conference was held on April 18 to 24, 1955 at Gedung Merdeka, Bandung, West Java, Indonesia, built on the common interest to fight colonialism. The Asia Africa Conference resulted in the 10 principles of Bandung. Up until now, the 10 principles from Bandung to the world are still relevant. 67 years have passed since the Asia Africa Conference was held. Today in Bandung, at this international conference with the theme Improving City Food Security and Creating Future Work Through Urban Farming Based on Culture and Technology, I would actualize one Bandung, namely promotion for mutual interest and cooperation. I must call on the word that the fulfillment of safe food is the right of all nations. Food remains a necessity of life for all human beings without state barriers. When globalization is unavoidable, I see that what needs to be maintained is to establish close cooperation and collaboration to find solutions to fulfill the food need. So, today, will Bandung message for just cooperation between nations through Buruansai diplomacy. Okay, my name Gin Ginanjar. I head of Bandung Food Security and Agriculture Department. It has been an honor for me to be here and share with all of you who are concerned about food issues that come from all over the world, both attending virtually and in person here. Today, I will share Bandung's experience to provide food security within its limitation. This presentation is titled Strengthening Collaboration Among Stakeholders and Communities to Promote Buruansai as Urban Farming Best Practice Model. Ladies and gentlemen, I quote what our first president, Mr. Sukarno, said, "Food is the life and death of a nation. It will be catastrophic if the people's food needs are not fulfilled. Thus, It needs massive, radical, and revolutionary effort. Bandung, with a population of 2.5 million people, is a service city, metropolitan city, and is not an agriculture producer area because it almost doesn't have any productive agriculture area. The food need mostly come from outside the city of 96%. Through Bandung vision to create an excellent, comfortable, prosperous, and religious, Bandung is trying to establish food security based on family and community through integrated urban farming or buruan sae, healthy, natural, economic yard. When the first time the integrated urban farming policy issued, it was aimed to provide sufficient food, especially for family or household, and could be easily accessed directly by utilizing unproductive yard or area around the home to be planted with various food which can fulfill the family food consumption and reduce family food spending. We have buruan sae that collect 8 activities. We plant vegetable, fruit, medicinal, plant, fish, chicken, livestock, and nursery. We also manage of organic waste or household waste to be compost or animal feed, and the last component was processing the product of buruan sae to be productive that have high economic value, as you see surrounding outside this room. Ladies and gentlemen, for us, integrated and diversified city in urban farming are important keywords, not only because the potential land or agriculture in Bandung is limited, but also the food is produced will be consumed someday. In food consumption, we are encouraged to consume nutritious, safe, balanced, and varied food. Food intake that is safe and nutritionally balanced must be varied. If we look at the beginning of plant cultivation, it is found that planting with monoculture pattern does not trigger the balance of the ecosystem. Thus, the concept of diversity upstream is very important to ensure this mutualism symbiosis of living things and other microorganisms is supporting plant production. The diversity of cropping pattern at the site level can also help balance to micro ecosystem. Ladies and gentlemen, now we feel the result. The people of Bandung are not farming communities, even though many of do not know about farming. But now, through buruan sae, farming is becoming part of the people Bandung life, even becoming a new lifestyle for Bandung people. Its neighborhood has a buruan sae area, and at one become an education center for surrounding people, sharing yield, including seed and knowledge. All of that has been part of buruan sae. The spirit as well as togetherness have been new power in Bandung City. Buruan sae is not only integrating various food, but also integrating many strategic programs of Bandung City, such as Kang Pisman program, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Bandung Tanginas, Bandung respond to stunting with safe and healthy food, and as well as strengthening family nutrition through pregnant and breastfeeding women, strengthening family economic, community empowerment, or economic community empowerment or community development, education, and agriculture, tourism, economic acceleration recovery program, and also the most interesting is it become a trend for strengthening immunity and happiness while the COVID-19 pandemic still exists. Ladies and gentlemen, buruan saya can materialize sustainability through the development of non-pesticide farming, processing the waste to be compost or animal feed, ability to do on seeding, community empowerment, adding family income, integration with many sectors and departments, open marketing of product, and so on. Buruan saya is developed through the collaboration of all stakeholders from government, university, media, business entity, and community. Strengthening community development effort is an important keyword and continues to be the focus for development to maintain the sustainability of buruan saya in the future. Okay, for one word. That is all that I can deliver. I hope this presentation bring benefit to all of you. We still have many shortcomings, problem and obstacle in deploying buruan saya. Therefore, a collaborative effort with all parties from various discipline and cross country is important. Happily, the practice that we have done until now can become the solution to improve citizen food independence so that it will not burden the world. Finally, in nowadays, modern city in borderless revolution, we invite everyone, those who want to be hero on providing healthy food. Let's start for our home. Let's optimize our yard to produce food by our own hand as much as we can. This is our message from Bandung. Thank you and apologies for any inconvenience. Good afternoon. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Food security. Now we will have Mr. Ahyani who will join through Zoom meeting. So Mr. Ahyani, is he already connect with us?
Oke, thank you. Selamat siang Bapak-Bapak Wali Kota. Salam dari Bapak Wali Kota Surakarta, Bapak Gibran Raka Buming Raka yang tidak bisa hadir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's pity because from government Surakarta city to join in this conference because this moment is same time with Surakarta, government Surakarta host para ASEAN para Games. So our mayor, Mr. Gibran Raka Buming Raka, has a role as a chief executive of para Games. So he excused that would not come in this meeting. That is a pity. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought about the food policy in Surakarta. I think this is the same pattern with Bandung because Surakarta is a small city, but with the density of Surakarta is very high. Our inhabitants is the density is more than 11,000 per square kilometer. Is very dense, and we don't have any open area or agriculture area. So our city like Bandung is depend on supply from the region area, from the surrounding region area. But in Surakarta city, to face with this limitation, so our government imposed so many policies to fulfill food in Surakarta city with a collaboration. We have a pentahali collaboration among government and then community such as NGO, farmers, also from media, and then from the enterprise, business, or also from the academia. This is this collaboration that we in Surakarta city that to promote and to fulfill food security in the Surakarta city, basically not only want to fulfill the food, but also want to promote that Surakarta city with the limitation of open space. So we want to make a city with the green area. This is combination between how to develop green area, and also with the green area also we want to develop, want to fulfill food. In this pandemic, I think this very pandemic this get impact with very hard to Surakarta, because Surakarta city it's like a Bandung, this services city that we are depends on the services to fulfill the economic activity. So this is from the people with the limitation of the distance, also limitation of the activities. This is we get gain from the pandemic. As Indonesia, we have proverb that behind di balik bencana ada hikmah. Behind the disaster, we can get the advantage. So when we have the limitation, people can promote. We can promote people to do themselves to improve their environment with urban farming. This is very good, because when people to do, they did not only for food like agriculture or farm, but also from the flowers, also from the plantation. It is make the city, the climate in the city is more friendly. Like my background is on the city. So based on this, after this impact result of this collaboration, that we can generate, we can promote the urban farming. Basically, this organization based from the women groups of farmers in Surakarta. This is more than 50 groups of women farmers group. Also, this collaborate with the Kampung Iklim Kampung Pro Iklim. This is pro climate kampung. This is can collaborate that the result of this program it can make the city more friendly, but also can fulfill some of food in Surakarta. We also collaborate with a program from Glasgow, also from Milan with Milan Urban Farming Policy Pact. We collaborate with the programs in this forum, such as from MUFPP. We have 6 pillars, and then from the Glasgow Declaration we have three pillars to that, such as implementation of integrated food system, and then reducing emission from urban food system, also stakeholder collaboration. The result of this program, so we can, as a government, we can fulfill need of the city, especially from the people. Based on the urban farming, I think from the people of Surakarta can fulfill from need of concern from his family. But when there is the event, I think this is depend on the stock from the market, because this is will consume much more supplies from food. I think this is how the government of Surakarta city can coordinate with surrounding areas to fulfill the need of the people. And then also we also from our practice, we have the good practice in Surakarta. Also, we did this, although food sharing among the people. When there is some urban area, some urban farming from the people, there is have the variety of products. This variety of product, so the yield of the product we can share among the people likely a barter. So this is they can reduce the spend of money. So this is make more efficient of economy. And then also we can impose site-friendly, healthy for school canteen, also for the baby. Because in Surakarta also we face with stunting, although this is not very big, but this is very important also. So in Surakarta City impose the program with impose likely a friendly healthy school canteen in preliminary school, also in kindergarten school, also in a baby cafe. Also we can support baby cafe in such public health center, we call it a puskesmas. And the last, we also can make food waste management when the excess of the food from the event or from the family, etc. We can use the waste of the excess food to be make as a maggot. From this maggot, we can use for fertilizer, also for fish food or fish feed. I think that's all this program in Surakarta City. The last is we want to develop how we can access from the market, from the products of the people, that when the people have products much, I think more products we want to access to the market, such as in supermarket or in the grocery. So if we can access to the market, I think it can make more sustainable in developing.
Pak Ahyani, I'm sorry, due to the time constraint, maybe you may jump to the conclusion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think this is all from Surakarta City. I think this is a program in Surakarta City that it is very useful. This program is very useful for our city. We want to learn from the good practices from another cities that in this conference. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Ahyani, for connecting with us here in Bandung. So last but not least, Mr. Seng from Seberang Perai City Council to deliver your presentation. Please give applause to Mr. Seng.
Selamat siang, salam sejahtera. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cheng Seng from Seberang Perai City Council, Penang, Malaysia. It is my pleasure to be invited to present our experience in promoting urban farming in Seberang Perai. So, Seberang Perai City Council vision is to be resilient, inclusive, green, competitive, and technology-driven smart city, and to provide urban service, development planning, and infrastructure effectively, efficiently, and responsive to the needs of the community. We are committed to uphold Penang 2030, a friendly, focused, and smart state that inspires the nations. We are committed to be a green and low emission development, resilient city, inclusive, equitable, and people-centered government, and also competitive and a smart city. Seberang City, a Seberang Perai City Council, act as an initiator, motivator, facilitator, regulator, and inspector. Continues to conduct training and awareness for our stakeholders. In short, we hope to achieve a carbon neutrality by the year 2030. So, next slide. Okay. This is our key performance indicators. We hope to reduce solid waste by 50%. That is from 1.6 per capita to 0.6 kilogram per capita per day. And greenhouse gases emission from 8 tons carbon dioxide equivalent to 4 tons carbon dioxide equivalent, and 50% of our to achieve 15% of the renewable energy, and 100% LED street lighting in our central district. And we have prepared our circular economy roadmap, and this year we are implementing the circular economy roadmap. Next. Our circular economy roadmap, from planning until the year 30 and beyond, just as I mentioned, is the target KPI we set. Next. So the next slide. So we are, people of Seberang Perai produce 1,600 tons of solid waste per day, and 700 tons domestic solid waste generated, and the rest from the industrial solid waste. In fact, more than 51% are from industries. And Seberang Perai is heavily industrialized in the central district, and although we are heavily industrialized, we still have in the northern district as paddy field. Paddy field land cannot be converted for development. And we have the solid waste disposal program to be implemented. That is, we call it waste to energy, waste to protein, and waste to compost. Waste to energy is we have, with the private sector, started the animal biogas plant, 1 megawatt, to be operational by April next year. 80% from animal waste, 20% from food waste. And waste to protein, we have black soda flies, because larva from the protein contains 35% protein and 30% crude fat, and can reduce 80% of our organic waste. So the protein can be used as food for fishery and animal husbandry. And we are to be determined to build a community goal and harvest produce and eliminate hunger. The garden provide low-income family with access to affordable health food. Next one. So we developed together with Sultan Idris Educational University in our own land, 1.4 acres, as a green educational center. And this center, we hope to train agriculture commercial farmers so that they can survive and earn a living. Together, then we have the fertigation, hydroponic, and composting, and then we have plots for community farming. Next one. Okay, next, okay. So we have our role to play. Promoting our role to play in promoting urban farming. We formulated a guideline to use public land, empty space, for urban farming. Those land not utilized for recreational purpose. For example, river reserve, water retention pond can be utilized. So we have the community hall within the fence area. Community leaders can utilize the land for urban farming. In fact, our community farming, we set a standard, a minimum of 10 participants for each locality. So that it's really community based and with about 100 square feet per person, so that they can exchange their own produce. So we promote healthy and safe food consumption through organic and natural farming. So we teach, we train people to make compost. And we cannot say 100% say organic. We promote by the name of natural farming. Our training include soil rehabilitation, seeding, technique in the soil farming, hydroponic, fertigations. We have also have the grow community market for local farmers to sell their produce. Otherwise, they say they plant, cannot sell, they cannot finish their produce. So we introduce and organize together with the private sector and grow community market, and we constantly improve our technologies. And we learn technologies so that we can train the farmers. And we also provide incentive for community to do composting. And this guideline will be implemented soon, so that for recycling center, schools, if they make compost, we will provide incentive. Maybe it's about 20 Malaysian ringgit per 100 kilogram of compost produced. Next. For urban farming program, we continue to provide training for community, industry, schools, and individual. And home farming is encouraged under our joint 1,000 movement in home farming to plant our own self, eat healthy, consume healthy, so that they spend time, let's say 20 minutes, 30 minutes per day, so take care of their veggie, so a form of exercise. And they can make compost on their own, then neighborhood can exchange different type of veggies, so that they don't have to consume the type of veggie same every day. And we have organized our Green School Award since the year 2010, and to generate entrepreneurship for students to do urban farming. Up to today, we have 166 schools. That is more or less 65% of schools in Seberang Perai join this program.
Mr. Seng, I'm sorry, but the time is up. Maybe you can close with the closing statement or the conclusion. Thank you.
So, next slide. So this example of the program we have, urban farming, hydroponic. Next slide. Fertigation. Next. And for community farming, we have 30 communities last year, and we hope to increase 5 per annum. The state government set us a KPI to achieve 100 community farming by the year 2030. So we have to be engaged with the communities to start urban farming. Next. So this is our initiative. We organize Community Sustainability Award, Circular Economy Community Award, to encourage community leaders to participate in our programs. Next. These are the example of our Grow Community Market. We have 4 together. Next one. So through our people 4P, public-private people partnerships. The management of Auto City with Zero Waste Initiative provide study visit for resident students to learn composting and hydrosoil. Hydrosoil just mentioned by our friend from Milan. Soil, water, and recycle back, so that we won't waste water. And Fetch Penang provide DIY training for hydroponics for school children. And Victory Crops has an experimental farm to train the community farmers. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sang. We are very glad to hear the sharing from Seberang Perai City Council, but yeah, again, the time is very limited. So, Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, due to the limited time, we need to end this session. So, before I close the session, I would like to take the conclusion from what the speaker have presented. That all of speaker already shared what are the action that need to be taken together to achieve food security and sustainable food city. And it is very nice to hear the sharing of each city's achievement. But here I can highlight one important thing, that to achieve food smart city, to achieve sustainable food city, the keywords is the engagement. The keyword is the collaboration in the all level. It is multi-stakeholder collaboration. So it is not only the government roles. It's not only the university or the private sector roles, but also the community. So to end this session, let's work together to achieve sustainable food city, to achieve food security. So I would like to thank the speakers for the informative and interesting presentation and all the participants here. Finally, please give applause to our remarkable speakers.